Hi everyone, I am Kelsey Delzell and I'm an intuitive medium. I want to share with you today what that is, what it means, and my top tips on how to get the best intuitive mediumship reading you can possibly get. So before we dive into how to get a great mediumship reading, I want to talk about what mediumship actually is. My job as an intuitive medium is basically to gather signs, symbols, and messages from spirit from your loved ones who have crossed over and deliver them to you. Mediums receive information in four main ways: hearing, seeing, telepathic, inner knowing, and feeling feelings. So the way I see spirit is in my mind's eye. And how that works is basically a visualization. If I sit down with a client and I see their loved one, it's in my mind's eye. Hearing spirit often sounds like hearing my own thoughts in my own head, and sometimes I can actually hear the voice of the spirit. Oftentimes, if they come from another country, I will hear an accent and I will know exactly what they're saying, even if they're speaking a different language inside my head. Another way spirit communicates through me is an inner knowing. I just know things about my client, or I know things about their loved ones, and I know what the message they want me to convey is. And finally, spirit sometimes communicates with feelings. I'll be filled with a deep sense of pride or love or peace if that is the message that spirit wants to convey. So when you're sitting down with a medium, how do you ensure that you get the best reading possible? My first tip is to be open. Skepticism is really healthy, discernment is really healthy, but as a medium, it is impossible to read through a brick wall. If you go into a reading and you want them to prove something to you, or you don't believe that what they do is real, you're not going to get the clearest messages possible. You don't need to give the medium any information about the people that you want to communicate with, but you should have an open heart and an open mind and really be willing to receive the messages that you need to hear and not necessarily what you want to hear. Now, while you're open to receiving all these messages, there is this phenomenon called psychic amnesia. This is where you cannot remember any facts about anyone who's ever passed away. You can't remember your childhood dog. You can't remember what your grandma's kitchen looked like. You can't validate anything in your mind because you're actually focusing on what you want to hear and not the messages that are coming through. This happens all the time, and a great way to combat this is by recording your reading. That way you can revisit the recording and maybe validate the messages with a family member, or you might be able to just connect the dots on your own at a later time. Lastly, when you're in a mediumship reading, it's great to keep your answers to yes, no, or cannot confirm, so I can truly validate the experience for you and you don't walk away feeling like you fed me any information. I hope these tips help you have the best experience possible, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.